this is Jamie Thomas with clickthemouse.ca, and this is my husband.
Hello, I'm Brad.
And we're here to talk to you guys about planning and money-saving hacks for your next Disney World vacation. The first money-saving hack is actually kind of a surprising one. Now, it's actually staying on property. Now, you're gonna think, Jamie, there's no way that staying on property is gonna save me more money than staying off property.
That's what I was thinking.
But, you know, it's actually true. You're gonna have to do the math for your own family, but the truth is, when you're staying off property, you have to factor in a lot of different off-property kind of costs.
I mean, just from travel alone, staying on property can be such a money-saving tip. You can do there's so many different types of options regarding your actual resort. Things that are, yes, very expensive, but you can also stay in a lot of economy type lodging as well.
So there's tons of value properties that range from, if you get a room discount, they can range from, $100 to under $150 a night, in that kind of range. So that's pretty reasonable. A lot of off-property hotels will charge resort fee. So those can range from anywhere from $10 a night to up to $25 a night. So you got to factor that in per night. That really jumps up your cost of maybe a $100 room, right?
Plus you got to consider things like car rental, gas for that car. How much is parking going to be when you go to the resorts and actually stay there?
Yeah, it can really add up quickly. So yeah, definitely. And also, if you're renting a car and you have little kids, you have to factor in a car seat rental, unless you're bringing your own. But if you're renting one from a company like Alamo, that can range from $12 a booster seat to a car seat per day. So that can quickly add up really too.
If you're staying off property, some of the different hotels and some of the different resorts will actually offer service shuttles to the different parks. Mm-hmm. And depending on which type of hotel you stay at, the quality of those shuttles can vary drastically. Whereas with Disney, you're always getting really good service. Every single one of the hotels has some form of bus transportation from the resort to the different Disney properties and different parks, whereas you just don't know what you're getting when you're staying off property. And when you add up all those different costs when it comes to travel, it really can be a saver to stay on property.
Yeah, it's true. The buses at Disney run about every 15 minutes, so that's pretty consistently. A lot of off-property places, will do 1 to 2 times in the morning and 1 to 2 times in the evening. So that means if you want to go back for an afternoon nap or even return to the hotel earlier, you're going to have to be paying an Uber or a taxi fee. The other thing is you get so many magical extras when you stay at Disney. So you get your free magic bands. So if you're paying out of pocket for magic bands, those are going to add up from, anywhere $10 to $15 per person. So you get those free when you just stay on property. Plus you get to pick your fast passes 60 days before rather than 30 days like off-property guests. So that's a pretty big bonus, because if you're really wanting to get on those hard to get rides like Flight of Passage, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, then you're going to want to be in that 60-day window booking the fast passes, because they can book up really quick.
Another one of the things you want to think about when it comes to transportation and cost saving when you stay on property at Disney World is the Magical Express. When it comes to flying into Orlando, one of the beautiful things about staying on a Walt Disney World property is you get the Magic Express, which picks up your bags, takes you from the airport right to your resort, where you're not having to pay for a taxi, you're not having to worry about tip. All of that kind of stuff is a real bonus for staying on property.
Yeah, it can really add up quick to pay for those transfers from the airport to your hotel. And also, when you check into your Disney resort, they'll also give you a souvenir booklet with kind of magical extras in it. And those will range from, 10% off to 20% off at select Disney stores. So, that can help save on food, dining, and different other little costs.
Staying on property, certainly our first tip for a way you might not have originally thought can actually save you money.
So our next money-saving hack is really going off-season. That's really because Disney often offers the best discounts or promotions during that time, January, February, pretty much when the kids are in school. And so the Disney is getting kind of low crowds, so they oftentimes release a promotion to entice people to come out to the park. So January, February, that September, late August range, late August really till beginning of December is a great time off season to go. But keeping in mind, you want to avoid American Thanksgiving and Christmas. Those are definitely the high seasons. But other times, you know, you want to go during off season because it can save a lot. You can get a room discount or even free dining if it's offered. There's lots of good promotions during that time. So, and the room costs are overall a lot lower because Disney does bump up the room cost price, you know, during those high seasons. So if you want to save money, go during the off season.
What's really nice about going during that time is not only is it cheaper, but some of the best type of festivals and extra little special tidbits that happen at the parks happen during those months. For instance, during October and November, you're going to see Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. The entire Magic Kingdom is just decorated in this awesome fall kind of motif. Over at Epcot, you've got the Food and Wine Festival, which is one of the funnest, best, if you're any kind of a foodie, you've got to go to it. Best place. Best time of year.
Yeah, and then plus you're not fighting crowds. You know, you're going to have lower wait times overall and just lower park crowds, which is a huge bonus. And you're going to be able to get more touring done during your day, which is a huge, you know, kind of money saving hack because you're getting the best bang for your buck going off season. So money saving hack number 3. It is use Google Flight Matrix. If you are flexible at all with your dates, then I recommend going to Google Flight Matrix. Just search it on Google and you'll find it. And it actually will give you a whole month view of flights. And so you can actually figure out what is the best time to stay and fly for you to get the best deal. And also to find the best flights for your family, which is really good. But you can get the lowest airfare then. You can figure out what airline, and it gives you a whole month. So you don't need to be searching day by day, which can be super tedious.
That also works back with what we were just talking about regarding going in the off season. Oftentimes those flights are the cheapest during that season, and so it matches right up with the cheaper prices at Disney. Tip number 4 or 5, depending on what we're at.
We're 4.
One of the best ways of saving money at Disney World is actually going with a group. Most people don't think of this. Now, going with a family of just yourselves is obviously maybe your preference. But if you have other family members, friends that will go with you, it's amazing how much you can save when you start doing things in kind of community. One of the options that is really good when you have a large group can be renting a home that is off property and dividing it up 3 or 4 ways. You can get places that have multiple rooms, have its own pool for several $100s a night that's split up between 3 or 4 families, can become unbelievably cheap. On top of that, if you stay on property with a group, you can divide other things up. For instance, one of my favorite things at Disney World is the Memory Maker. If you don't know what that is, basically all around the parks, all around the resort, they have professional photographers just waiting around to take pictures of your family. It's an unbelievable service. It costs, you know, I think $150, $200, somewhere in that range. But what's really cool is for everyone that's kind of in your group, it works for everyone. And so if you have 2 or 3 families attached to the same account and going together, it can be split up 2-3 ways, and suddenly you can make unbelievable memories for a really cheap price. And it's not just that you have all of these professional photographers all around Disney World at your disposal, but even when you go on the rides and there's those cameras that take a picture of you going down Splash Mountain, you get all of those, including videos of you doing that stuff. So another great way to save money is go as a group, figure out what ways you can actually split up the tab, because really quickly Disney World can go from this unbelievably expensive thing to something that's very affordable.
Well, and like you said, you don't have to be staying all in the same room to get that. So even if just one person has it on their package, then as long as you're all linked in Memory Maker together, then all of you guys can benefit from that. If you actually fill up your hotel room, you're going to be getting the best value and bang for your buck. So if you only have like maybe 2 people in a standard room, you have really, you're not filling up the room to its full capacity. So you could stay at, let's say, a family suite in Art of Animation. If you're a smaller family, maybe that's not the best option for you. But if you're bringing grandma and grandpa along too and filling up that family suite, then it makes it, you know, that huge price tag more shareable and more like a value resort when you're splitting the costs.
Well,
right?
it was. We did that exact thing about 3 years ago, and by the time we split it 2 ways, it ended up being as cheap, if not cheaper, than staying at All Star Sports or one of the really cheap resorts at Disney World.
Yeah, that's true. But the prices have gone up at Art of Animation, sadly. But you know what? Still, if you're splitting it, you know, I know. But if you're still splitting it, you know, a few ways, then it does make it a really good economical option because you don't need to get 2 standard rooms. You can just all fit in a family suite, which is kind of nice too because it has 2 bathrooms. So that can be really nice.
Number 5, stay a little longer at Disney World. I know this is crazy. You want to go to Universal, you want to do SeaWorld, you want to do all that other stuff in Florida, Legoland, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in other videos, and there's lots of fun stuff to do there. But there's so much stuff to do at the Walt Disney World Resort, and the longer you stay, the longer you stay as far as tickets go, the cheaper a ticket gets.
Like a one-day ticket ranges, let's say like $105. Well, if you go up, to 8 or 10 days, it's getting cheaper per day. So you're talking, it could get down to $44 a person or something, per day. So definitely if you're doing like 2 days at Universal and then 2 days at Disney, people are always shocked by the price tag there because you're paying the premium full ticket prices, right? But if you stay at Disney longer, then you're paying a whole lot less over the all. So it might be smart for your family to kind of think about, rather than doing a short trip every year, 2, 3, 4 days, every single year, maybe space it out. Do every couple years a longer 8 to 10 day trip, and then you're really getting the best bang for your buck.
So hot tip number 6 on how to save some money at Disney World: consider all of those things that you can get off property that you'll spend 4 or 5 times the amount on property for. For instance, a lot of kids love to use glow sticks, things of that nature when they go to the parks. Buy those at dollar stores. Another thing that will just take your cost and your spending out of control is looking for all those little knickknacks and all of those souvenirs that you'll end up purchasing in all of your gift shops after each ride. Tell your family, forget it, we're not buying our stuff here. There are all sorts of wonderful outlet shops at Disney. There are Disney outlet shops right by Disney World. Take one day, or not even a full day, take a couple hours one day, head to an outlet shop. There's one right by Disney World where they take all of their stuff that really hasn't sold as well as they thought it would or is out of season, and they sell it for like 1/4, 1/5, 1/10 the cost. Last time we went, I think we spent $100 and got like $500 worth of souvenirs, golf shirts, golf jackets, art, all sorts of mugs, everything that we would have looked for and bought inside the park for 5 times the cost. We got there at just a fraction.
Yeah, totally. And that's actually called the character warehouses. And like Brad said, they're official Disney merchandise. You can just get it for super cheap, all of it. So it's definitely worth it to save your money instead of getting that, premium Mickey ears that are, $25. Go to the character warehouse and get ones that are $2, $3, $4, $5, right? So you're saving a lot of money then. It's definitely worth it to take an Uber down there and just go check it out. And number 7, it is use a grocery delivery service. So you're probably thinking, grocery delivery, that's going to be a lot of money. But if you use a company like Garden Grocer, they actually deliver for free when you spend $50 or more. So if you're, let's say, eating your breakfast, maybe even packing a little cold sandwich lunch for the day at the park, then you only have really a meal that you're going to have to be paying out of pocket there. So that can save your family a lot of money. Every Disney resort has fridges, little mini fridges in the room, and then select Disney resorts have kitchenettes, which have like a little sink, toaster, microwave, and some of them even have full kitchens. So if you're cooking your meals in the resort room, you can actually save quite a bit of money rather than paying out of pocket in the parks.
Again, so much of this is you doing the math as you look at what's best for your family. But if you are staying off property, there are a lot of resorts that are really close by that do have continental breakfast, and a kitchenette. So by the time you get the free breakfast in the morning, you've got your own food that you can prepare, some of which you are allowed to bring into the park, depending on the rules. It's amazing how much cheaper it can be if you get really smart about your money with your food.
Hack number 8, camping. And you're probably thinking, what? Go camping? That's crazy, right? But truth is, Disney actually has one of the most beautiful campgrounds in all of the world, really. So if you're, live close and you can even drive, or maybe you just really like camping, or you can take your RV down, whatever. The campgrounds range from $47, I think, dollars a night to, just under 100. So that can be a super cheap way to stay on property, and you actually get all of the benefits of staying on property. You get those free magic bands, you get to select your fast passes 30 days before, all of the benefits, but very low price. So you just want to make sure not to go during rainy or hurricane season, because it could get super wet. It can downpour, but that is a really good way to save some money. Just go camping. camping. And plus, you get a lot of fun things. There's roasting marshmallows with Chip and Dale one
That's
evening.
pretty
So
cool.
cool. The campgrounds are super fun. So if you guys are outdoorsy and would enjoy that, then you should probably check that out. So hack number 9 is actually consider going to one of the resorts that is under refurbishments. That is because Disney oftentimes will heavily discount a room, like the resorts that are under construction right now, Coronado Springs, Caribbean Beach. Those are under construction. So if you don't mind going and kind of overlooking the walls and the construction that's up and going on, Disney's really discounting those rooms. So that can save you a lot of money. You can stay at a moderate resort for a much lower discounted price. And plus, you can double dip. So if a promotion comes out like free dining or a room promotion, you can actually apply that onto the already discounted rate. So that can be a really good deal. And Disney actually makes sure to not do construction from 9 a.m. I think till 9 p.m. So you're not going to be hearing, or no, sorry, opposite. They don't do the construction. They do construction from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yes.
Yes.
That would make more sense. Right in the middle. You're trying to sleep and...
That'd be horrible. That'd be really bad. No, opposite. They're not doing construction at night when you're sleeping. So after 9 p.m. until 9 a.m., there's no construction, no noise. So, you're going to be seeing the ugly walls up though, and, maybe some amenities might be down, like dining or certain pools or something. You definitely just have to check it out, but it is a really good way to save some money.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to gauge kind of how important are some of those amenities to you. Like certain hotels and certain resorts will lose a restaurant, or certain things become more difficult to get to. Yeah. And so you really have to decide, okay, is this something I'm willing to give up a few of those things I might really like at the resort? They're pretty good about keeping pools open, because to me that's the most important thing at a resort, that and just a comfy bed. Yeah. But there are some things that are taken away, so keep that in mind. But it is a really good way to save some money. Going along with that, I think leads us to our 10th and final. Now we're going to do more of these because there's so many different ways you can save money.
Tons of hacks.
For and at Walt Disney World. But I think the 10th and the one to finish on that goes along with what we just said is book with a travel agent.
Like me. Yeah, because you know what? It's true. We want the best deal for you. We can give you suggestions on what hotels are going under refurbishments, that you can get those deals for, or even kind of predict what promotions are coming out. There's no guarantee, of course, but we can kind of help you plan booking ahead, or even booking last minute too. But we can definitely help you get the best deal. And when you book with a travel agent like me, with Jamie with Click the Mouse, then we monitor actually for discounts. So if you book a trip, we can actually apply the discount to your room, or even change your room depending on availability to get you the best deal available. So good, and we're free too.
I think that's the biggest thing is if you go with a reputable place like Click the Mouse, it's free too. And that's a huge, huge thing to have someone that's worrying about your vacation for you, looking to apply those different discounts. And the truth is, so many of those types of things come up at and through Walt Disney World. And if you're trying to book your own vacation yourself, you're having to stay on top of all that stuff. What different discounts are coming up? What is new at the parks that I need to know about that can be applied to my vacation to save me some money? And if you're working a job and raising kids, I mean, it's who has time for that? But the beauty is, if you go with a travel agent, they're looking into all that for you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking the time to listen to us. Yeah,
thank you so much, and we'll see you later. Make sure to subscribe to our videos down below there, and listen to us, because we'll be giving more tips and information about your next Walt Disney World vacation.
And if you're looking to book a vacation, you can also click down. There's links below, and you can book her.
Yeah, you can book me. I'm pretty awesome. No, not to sound awful of myself, but it's true. Okay, bye.